In this video, we'll be exploring the use of encryption for storing data across network connections. So what is encryption? Encryption's the process of converting information into a code to prevent unauthorized access. It involves using algorithms to scramble the original data into an unreadable form. This scrambled data is known as ciphertext. Only those with the correct key can decrypt the ciphertext and convert it back to its original understandable form, which is known as plaintext. This process is known as decryption. It's important to remember that encryption doesn't stop someone from being able to get hold of any message. Instead, it makes sure that if they do get hold of it, they can't understand it. So let's take a look at a simple example of how we can encrypt some data. A Caesar cipher is a simple way to encrypt messages by shifting each letter of a plaintext word by a given number. For example, if I'm wanting to encrypt the word May, I can shift each letter up by 3 characters. So M up 3 becomes P, A becomes D, and Y wraps round back to the start of the alphabet and becomes B. We can then send this message over the network, and the receiver can decrypt the message simply by shifting each letter back down by 3 characters to get our original message. So, the letter P is shifted down 3 letters to become M, Y becomes A, and B becomes Y, so the recipient can read that our original message was May. There are a number of issues with the Caesar cipher, which means that it doesn't get used in any real-life data transmissions. One main issue is that it uses the same key to encrypt and decrypt the data, meaning that if the key is found, all future messages can be read by the attacker. To prevent this, asymmetric encryption can be used, which employs 2 keys, a public key and a private key. This method allows anyone to possess the public key, which is used to encrypt the messages. However, only the private key, held by the intended recipient, can decrypt these messages. As long as the private key remains secure, messages will remain encrypted, even if the attacker gets control of the public key. So, in summary then, encryption is the process of converting information into a code to prevent unauthorized reading of information. It's an incredibly important tool that's used on networks to prevent unauthorized people from reading messages that they shouldn't be able to access. So that's the end of this video. If you'd like to test your knowledge and access other lesson resources, then make sure to head on over to revisio.uk.